In this video, we're going to examine the remilitarisation of the Rhineland in 1936. At the top of this video, you'll see a navigation bar and there are timestamps, so you'll be able to jump to the section that you need. The Rhineland was an area of Germany that bordered France. Under the Treaty of Versailles, the Rhineland remained part of Germany, but it was declared a demilitarised zone. This meant that Germany was not allowed to keep troops or weapons there. The treaty also allowed Allied troops to occupy the west bank of the Rhineland for 15 years. However, these troops left 5 years earlier than planned. Many Germans regarded the demilitarisation of the Rhineland as unfair and humiliating. From the German point of view, it left the country vulnerable because Western armies could potentially invade Germany through the Rhineland. This happened in January 1923. The demilitarised Rhineland, therefore, became a constant reminder of Germany's humiliation under the Treaty of Versailles. On the 7th of March 1936, Hitler ordered German troops and armed police to march into the Rhineland. This was a direct challenge to the Treaty of Versailles because Germany was not allowed to station military forces in the area. Hitler's decision was a major risk. The German force was much weaker than the forces that Britain and France could potentially use against it. German generals had also been ordered to retreat if they faced resistance. Hitler feared that Britain and France might try to stop him. However, neither country took military action. The League of Nations condemned Hitler's actions, but did nothing more. Hitler had successfully remilitarised the Rhineland. Hitler correctly predicted that Britain and France would not risk war over the Rhineland. Lord Lothian of Great Britain famously stated that it was no more than the Germans walking into their own backyard. Britain and France did not believe that European peace should be risked over German troops entering parts of their own country. The British government also believed that the Treaty of Versailles had been unfair. British leaders hoped that allowing Hitler to correct some of the treaty's wrongs would help him to secure peace with Germany. France was also facing its own difficulties. The country was in the middle of a financial crisis and elections were due to take place within 6 weeks. Britain and France were more concerned about Mussolini's invasion of Abyssinia. Hitler had noticed that the League of Nations had been reluctant to act against Mussolini. He calculated that no serious action would be taken against Germany either. The remilitarisation of the Rhineland was an important success for Hitler. It was his first successful military action and it overturned another part of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler's actions were also extremely popular in Germany. People in the Rhineland celebrated and Hitler became more confident about continuing with his policies. Some historians believe that Britain and France lost their final opportunity to confront Hitler without causing a major war. At this stage, Germany's armed forces were still too weak to defeat France in 1936. If French forces had entered the Rhineland, the German troops had orders to retreat. However, because Britain and France did nothing, Hitler's gamble succeeded. Again, Hitler attempted to calm other countries by offering a 25-year peace or non-aggression agreement with the Western powers. This allowed Hitler to combine aggression with diplomacy. He had broken the Treaty of Versailles and achieved his objective, while continuing to present himself as someone who wanted peace. The Treaty of Versailles had made the Rhineland a demilitarised zone, meaning that Germany could not station troops or weapons there. On the 7th of March 1936, Hitler broke the treaty by sending German forces into the Rhineland. Britain, France and the League of Nations condemned his actions but did not stop him. The remilitarisation of the Rhineland increased Hitler's popularity, strengthened his confidence and removed another restriction imposed on Germany by the Treaty of Versailles.